All right, welcome into another playoff edition of Watching. I did not think I would be making two videos back-to-back days about Dodgers starters, but they have earned it. They have absolutely shoved. Yesterday it was Blake Snell, and today it's this guy, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, the highest paid pitcher in the history of baseball, signed for 12 years, $325 million before 2 off seasons ago. With the Dodgers, he had an incredible season this year, making 30 starts, going 173 and two-thirds with 201 strikeouts. 5 WAR season, 12-8 record, 2.49 ERA, 0.990 WHIP. So absolutely incredible stuff. He was particularly potent at the end of the season, where he was on an absolute burner, headed all the way up until his last start, actually, which was versus Philly in the division series, where he actually struggled a little bit, allowing 3 runs in 4 innings. Now, we have heard a lot about Yamamoto since he came over from Japan. One of the biggest things that I was excited about was how he tends to bounce back huge after disappointing performances. That's what he did last night versus the Brewers. Let's get into it. He ends up going complete game, 9 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. The 1 run was a leadoff home run off the game, and we're going to watch every single pitch of this game and break it down. Before we do that, though, let's get into his player breakdown so we can know what we're about to watch. Splitter was the top pitch tonight for Yamamoto. 34 splits, 27 curveballs, 27 fastballs, 12 cutters, 9 sinkers, and 2 sliders. This is a bit of a departure from his style that he's been on this burner with. It's been mostly fastballs. He actually lost a little bit of a feel for the splitter right around 2-3 starts ago. So it's good to see that that was his primary pitch today, and he's clearly fixed that problem. How do you do in terms of whiffs in this game? He had 15 whiffs and 62 swings. So 62 swings. This is the second game that I've broken down in a row where a team has been desperate to swing against that pitcher because they don't want to strike out and they know he's going to be in the strike zone. So 62 swings is crazy. 15 whiffs, only 24% whiff rate, which is solid, but nothing spectacular. So he did it other ways, which means we need context. We need to watch every single pitch from this outing. So here we go. First pitch of the game. Yamamoto Choreo, and Choreo greets him very rudely with an Oppo Taco right off the bat. So this is it. This was the only blemish. 106.4 at 27, 389 feet. Choreo's postseason resume continues to grow. He is now 21 years old. He did it as a 20-year-old last year. And yeah, nothing really to break down here. It's just a fastball down. He's trying to get ahead in the count, and it gets clipped. And we'll move on to batter number 2, Bryce Terang. All right, going to start Terang off here with a curveball. Drops it low. That has to be a little startling for anybody, you know? You give a home run up on the first pitch you throw of the day, and you have to kind of reset your focus. But I will say, solo shots generally do not deter starters very much. There's a fastball in another very hittable area to Terang. Let's check the metrics on the fastball as we get started. 19.3 inches of induced vertical break is outstanding. Tons of carry on this pitch. Relatively typical amount of run on a fastball. A little less than average, but nothing crazy. And 95.1 is solid velocity. All right, 1-1 count. Back to the fastball. This one's 96. Ooh, now he gets it to that up and away quadrant, and gets the swing through on Bryce Terang and his fairly scoopy swing. He's a little late on that, and we're at 1-2. Then here comes our first look at the splitter today. This is a pitch he had been scuffling with. This one doesn't look great, to be fair, but it does get an out. Little chopper the other way. Nice play by Muncy. Got to give Muncy a little credit for this play. Weird hop here. Kind of handcuffs him, but makes the play. The splitter itself, not where he wants it location-wise, but it's the first one of the day, and we're off and running with 1 out here in the first. Now it's Contreras, William Contreras. Going to start him with the split. Interesting. Ooh, perfectly located split there. So now he's gotten some pretty quick action with the Brewers swinging the bat in the first 2 at-bats, right? Choreo ambushes for a home run. Terang takes 1 pitch, sees a fastball is all over it, swinging. So it makes me think, and it's probably making Yamamoto and Will Smith here think that they're on the fastball, right? So what looks like a fastball and then isn't a fastball at the last second? Well, it's a splitter. He starts it at the bottom of the zone, drops it below, and gets the swing over. Beautiful pitch. And now they'll go to the fastball. 97 miles an hour. Dotted away. Hit pretty hard, but Freddie's on it. Yoshi's over there, makes the play. 2 outs. So early in the early going here, it's pretty obvious to me that the Brewers are hunting fastballs. All right, Christian Yelich, first pitch cutter. Again, an early action swing. Looking to ambush a fastball early. This is another pitch. Kind of looks like a fastball, but is it? 10.2 inches of induced vertical break means this pitch has some decent backspin on it, even though it's a cutter. And it's right at the 0 line, so it's just a slight bore in left. He also has very good velocity for this cutter, 93.6. Which is an outstanding number for a cutter. Really, you want your velocity as high as possible on cutter. It's not the case on every pitch, believe it or not, but it is definitely the case on cutter. And this pitch looks like it's going down and in. Ends up riding in on Christian, and he swings over the top for an 0-1 count. Oop, they're going to go for the double up. This one gets it to the up and in quadrant. This is a pitch that a lot of people try to throw to Yelich because he's very good at staying inside the ball, so you want to get stuff running towards his hands whenever possible. And you can see the effect it has, even though it's a ball, kind of backs him up off the plate. And now we'll go 4-seam off that, 97.1. So Yoshi's velocity is outstanding in this game. Just misses the fastball in. This was probably a pretty easy take for Yelich considering the last 2 pitches came in on him. So this pitch starts in. He's expecting it to continue in. And even though it's not a cutter, it doesn't quite get to the corner. So even though it's a really close pitch, this was a pretty much automatic take from Yelich. All right, 2-1 count. Now we go back to the curveball. A lot of people refer to Yoshi's curveball as the yo-yo curveball, and I'm not really sure why. Maybe something with the Y's in the names, the Yoshinobu Yamamoto, yo-yo, both a lot of Y's there. But at the end of the day, what it really features is a lot of up-down, tight breaking action. As you can see on this curveball here, it does pop a little bit up out of the hand, but it hits it hits something. It's almost like it's tapped from above. And it comes down really fast, and it's a really hard pitch to square up. And that sets him up for this 2-2, which we just watched, which was a really located fastball up and in. Jams the crap out of Yelich and gets the pushed ground ball over towards Muncy. So, first inning, what are our takeaways? Well, the Brewers are on the fastball, as evidenced by not only the home run, but some of the early swings in these at-bats. Yoshi's got outstanding velocity on both the cutter and the fastball. That's obvious. And I think if his command can settle in, it should be a good night. Obviously, we already know it's a great night. So let's see how he does that, and let's see how the splitter evolves as we go. All right, second inning, Andrew Vaughn. Ooh, another first pitch splitter. This is not typical for him, but again, getting ready for the ambushes. This time, Vaughn's taking all the way, and this pitch that starts on the plate zips in for ball 1. Also, 91.5 miles an hour on the split is a very different type of splitter than we have seen being thrown quite a bit in this playoffs, particularly from his teammate and countryman Roki Sasaki, who throws more of a forkball type split. He doesn't. He throws a power split. 91 miles an hour on that splitter for ball 1, and there's a fastball for ball 2. So 2-0, he's going to go to a sinker. This is the first sinker we've seen on the day, and it works beautifully. Gets the rollover to Muncy, is hit pretty hard. But they're actually not able to make the play as this ball eats up Max a little bit. But this was a good pitch. The sinker riding in on the hands. He hasn't shown this shape yet. And for reference, this shape is a very runny two-seam. 17.4 inches of run to the right is a lot more than the 4 or 5 he's getting on his 4-seam. So if you see that 4-seam shape, you're prepared for one thing, and then the sinker comes and it's riding in on your hands, and it's kind of tough to get extended. That's what you see here from Vaughn. This is a rollover. It's only hit 86 miles an hour. That's a victory for Yoshi, even though the out's not made, but a good pitch nonetheless. All right. Second batter, Sal Frelick. Going to start him with the curveball. Beautiful. Puts it right in there for a strike. Almost a fair ball. Almost put in play fair, but ends up being rolled foul. And now he's going to go to the cutter off of that. He knows he has him sped up a little bit. Oop, cutter gets the same effect. This one's chopped right to Freddie, and they nearly get a double play. But either way, it's 1 force out. So this was interesting a little bit here. First pitch curveball, and Sal's all over it, but he's early, right? So again, the Brewers are trying to be ultra aggressive against Yoshi in this game. That's clear. But it's also clear that they're sitting on something at a faster speed band. So even though he swings at this pitch, and he bangs it in the ground super pull side, he's early. Now, you don't want to just give in and throw a fastball, but given that he will swing off the plate, I think that's why they make the pitch choice for the cutter here. The idea is to ride one up and in. The location's pretty damn good on it at the very top of the zone, and they get the chopper they're looking for. So nice piece of pitching the contact there, looking for a potential double play. They only get the one out, but that's a solid job, and that brings up Caleb Durbin, and this will be his first punch out of the game. Starts him with a sinker. There's that aggression again. So really good awareness by the Dodgers right away about the aggression that the Brewers are showing. They're no longer piping four-seam fastballs right down the middle first pitch. At this moment, they're going with pitches that look like fastballs and are not, hoping to induce the swings that they want, getting the hitters to swing at pitchers' pitches. This is a great example of that. The sinker rides in on the hands of Durbin. Even though it's a foul ball, it's 0-1, and if he were to put that in play, he probably wasn't doing a whole lot with that. All right, splitter off of that. Very good pitch, very similar to the sinker he just threw. This was intentional. Will Smith set up on the inside corner. The idea is to kind of throw the same pitch as you just threw, that sinker, but slower. That way, if they do swing, you either get the miss or you get the pulled foul ball, and you're way ahead of the game. Or if he's on time, he probably hits a rollover to third baseman. In this case, he gets the pull foul, and he gets to 0-2, and now here comes the 97, and they're going away. In, and then away dotted. So beautiful sequence here by Yoshi and Will Smith. I noted how the first pitch sinker was in here. The second pitch changeup was also in here. So now he's fully aware of the inside corner, and that outside corner feels a mile away. So then when Yoshi comes back with the express and puts it in this outer quadrant, all Durbin can do is watch it and then walk back to the dugout. So he'll go sit in the truck, and there are 2 outs in this inning. Really nice pitch, really good command, and the command seems to really be sharpening up here in the second inning. Now, Jake Bauers. First pitch curveball, swing and miss. Another crazy aggression, another out-of-zone chase, 0-0 count. So the Dodgers picked up on it quick. If the Brewers thought they were going to surprise Yoshi, maybe they did for one batter, but he's not surprised for long. So Cutter coming off that curveball, again, gets it to that up and in quadrant. Mookie with a nice play in rhythm, and the inning is over. Now, I've talked a lot on my show about not loving cutters from righties to lefties, right-handed pitchers to left-handed batters when you need to throw a strike. I don't mind it 0-1. I don't mind it when you're ahead in the count, even in a neutral count. But again, the big key, if you're going to be in the strike zone, you have to be in this area. You got to be up in or on the top rail if you want a swing, because those are the pitches that are going to be tough to get to. That's where the swing is not designed to get the barrel to. So that's what he does here. Gets the cutter in the spot, gets a little jam shot out to Mook, and we're through the second. See, jammed, only 74.6 miles an hour on the exit velo on that. So that pitch worked to perfection onto the third, and Joey Ortiz. And now he's starting to get some quick outs, which obviously you're going to need if you're going to throw a CG. So once again, expecting a swing, first pitch curveball, even to the 9-hole here. It is a ball. And now he'll go sinker and try to get some early contact, which he does. Hits it right back to Yoshi, one of the best fielding pitchers in the league, and that's a piece of cake. Little 1-3 in your scorebook from Joey Ortiz, 73 miles an hour. And one trend early is Yoshinobu is jamming the piss out of these Brewers hitters. That's at least the 4th guy that's been super jammed on their contact. All right, back to the top of the order, and the man who homered, Mr. Jackson Chourio. Homered on a fastball, doesn't get a fastball this time, actually bluffs. Does the little league bunt bluff here, trying to shake up the pitcher. Yoshi's not rattled by it and throws a 92.6 mile an hour cutter right in there for strike 1. And now he'll go to the curveball. One thing about pitching that you always have to remember is you initiate the action. You don't have to throw what they want. You get to throw what you want. So Chourio whacks the fastball that first at bat. He comes out cutter, now curveball. And even though this pitch was awfully close to being an out, he's in an 0-2 count. And he'll go for the strikeout here with the fastball. So he slows him down, and then he perfectly locates the fastball up and in. So I mentioned how the command was Metza in the first inning. The command is locked in now already in the third. Look at Will Smith's target. Up in. He just slowed him down with 2 slow pitches. And wham, right to the target. Chourio likes it down and away. He's more of a drive the fastball to the opposite field type of guy. And he's tied up by an exceptional fastball right there. And that's strikeout number 2 for Yoshi. And 2 outs in the third. Here comes Bryce Terang. Going to start him with a split. So very few first pitch fastballs here in the early going outside of the first batter. Other than that, he has been protected from the ambush. There's a 1-0 curveball. And here's another cutter. Got him with a cutter, I believe, the first time as well. Maybe it was a fastball, but cutter's a good pitch to Terang. This one doesn't get to that up and in quadrant quite as well as before. This one's a little more medium height. Allows his little bat path to droop on that. And he slices it into left, even though it's not hit hard. It is a base hit. So that's the issue with the cutter a little bit at times. Opens you up for some contact that leads to hits, but I don't mind it. It's been a good pitch for him early, and he's trying to get himself some quick outs with 2 outs and nobody on there. So Terang does a good job and gets himself on base. Here comes Contreras with 1 out and 2 on. Going to start him with a curveball as well. Little check swing foul tip, 0-1. Splitter off that. Got a swing and miss on a split versus him in the first at-bat. And gets a very similar one here in the second at-bat. So not a ton of crazy drop. I mean, it has drop on it, but this pitch boring in. This is not a good camera angle to illustrate this. But this pitch boring in kind of ties up Contreras here. Gets him to the 0-2. And now he's going to try to finish him the same way as Choreo. Fastball up and in. Wow, perfect location. Kind of incredible that he hit that. And he hit it hard, 105.8. So I'm going to give a lot of credit to William Contreras here. This is an incredible swing. But Yoshi did what he wanted. Look at the target, and then you watch where the pitch comes. He hit his spot, so they'll remember that for later. Contreras cheating in a little bit, but they get rewarded anyway with a line out. On to the 4th inning, and Mr. Christian Yelich. Going to start him with a split. Still continuing the trend. Nice pitch. Still continuing the trend of no fastballs first pitch at the moment. Splitter for a strike. Splitter off that. Tries to go a little bit low. Pulls it. Now he's on 1-1. Going to triple up on the split. Gets the swing below. This is such a good pitch. You can see the height that it starts at. It's clearly high enough to be in the bottom of the zone if that was a fastball, so you have to honor it on the way to the plate, and then it gets pretty close before diving. A big aspect to Yoshi's game is the late movement on that split. All right, 1-2 count. Oop, 4 splitters in a row. I love it. You see a hitter not make an adjustment, you just keep doing what you're doing, and the real key here is the location. Given that you can tell Yelich is now kind of maybe going to swing at a splitter, if you make a mistake in the middle, you're in big trouble. The idea here is to just get it behind the plate, below the zone, and that's what Yoshi does here. And Christian swings right over the top for the first out of the 4th. Second out of the 4th, Mr. Andrew Vaughn. Another non-fastball, first pitch cutter. Perfectly placed the outside corner. Great pitch there. And splitter off of that. Kind of beats him a little bit. Now, splitter and cutter are interesting pitches to throw off of each other, especially for Yoshi. 92.3 miles an hour on the splitter, and it was 92.8 on the cutter. So the same speed. What you're relying on here to trick the hitter is opposite movement. Same speed, opposite movement. Cutter goes left to the glove side. Splitter goes right to the arm side with a little drop. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to get a swing and get him off the fat part of the bat. This splitter that Vaughn hits is not the pitch, not the location he's really looking for. The target's a lot lower, but nevertheless, it's enough to get him off the barrel. It's a weak 87.3 mile an hour can of shit, fly ball to center, and there are 2 away. And now we're at Sal Frelick. Another first pitch curveball. So he's really going away from starting at bats with the fastball. It's a full pitch backwards approach at the moment. And it seems to be paying big time dividends, making the early adjustment here. 1-1 count. Here's a very rare sinker thrown to a lefty from Yoshi. Throws it middle. Sal is under that. So if I'm pitching, typically I get a foul ball where the guy's under my sinker. I am definitely considering going 4-seam after that, because it should be pretty tough if you're under my sinker to be anything but way under my 4-seam. Let's see how they do it. This was the foul ball. They go to the split, so they try to say, okay, got you swinging. Let's go ahead and get you chasing. Yoshi pushes this one off the corner just a bit. Doesn't quite get it to where he wants. But I do think the inside is opened wide up. What you can see, Sal Frelick's energy is all over the plate here. So let's see what they choose on 2-2. They do choose cutter. I think this is a good choice. The only issue is the location. Meant to get it in. Frelick's attention was clearly out over. He ends up kind of backing this up to the outside corner. This is not the cutter he wanted. And Sal's able to slash it through the left side for a 2-out hit. So, not going to be perfect every time. I like the thought process, but this shows you how important execution really is. And now we have Caleb Durbin, who struck out the first time, and he's going to punch out the second time here to close out the 4th. First pitch curveball, strike. Second pitch curveball, fouled away. And you can see how out front and early Durbin is. Even if he hits this ball's hooked in the Dodger dugout. So it's always nice when you're pitching and you can really tell the timing the batter's on. And he is way ahead of that. Now they go to the split. And that's just nasty. He thinks it's a fastball the whole way. Again, the late movement, the late action on Yoshi's split is special. Look at this pitch. Really good pitch to hit all the way to this point probably, right? Now it's starting to drop, but still has to be respected. You're in an 0-2 count. You got to protect the plate. And then watch how this ball just zips down underneath the zone at the last second. And Durbin's left waving at it. Really nice pitch there as he closes out a beautiful fourth inning. And now this guy's rolling. He's really, really rolling. Fifth inning, Jake Bauers. Ooh, finally starts back with a fastball here. Just got the lead, and yet he still gets a swing. But 97 up and away is a good spot to this batter, Bauers. And he gets the 0-1 and gets actually squeezed here on a high cutter. This is a tough pitch for any lefty to swing at, so I like it. But they don't get it. And we're at 1-1. Here comes the curveball off of those two pitches up. So tunnel's been set for a curve. Beautiful, draws the swing and the foul ball, and he's in the driver's seat. 1-2. Here comes the split. Just off the corner. He is struggling a little bit at times, not getting the split down, kind of pushing it off to the arm side. We've seen 3 or 4 of those, so it should be noted. And we're in a 2-2 count. Comes back with the fastball up, which I like. Now that he can convince him to swing after that curveball. And he's under it for a foul ball. Good protecting by Bauers here. This was a good put-away pitch attempt. All right, 2-2 count. Back to the curveball. Ooh, good take by Bauers. Surprised he didn't swing at that. Let's see the height of the curveball out of the hand. High, but not quite top of the zone. Bauers starts to engage on it. And he's able to take it. All right, now, so for me, the bottom of the zone's wide open for a fastball freeze here. Let's see what they go to. They go to cutter. Expecting a swing. Ooh, and almost gets clipped. This was a very dangerous pitch. This was ill-advised in my opinion. But he gets under it, 35 degrees, only hits at 90.9, which speaks to him getting it off the end or off the handle or something just a bit here. Let's see. Yep, slightly jammed. You can see where the bat and the ball are meeting. He wants the ball to be hitting the fat part of the barrel over here. And that's the effect of the cutter. It's subtle. It doesn't have to get a miss. It just has to get you off the fat part of the bat, and that's what that does for the first out of the fifth. All right, second at bat of the fifth is Joey Ortiz. This is going to be the only walk of the game from Yoshi. Starts him with a split, pulls it a little bit. Cutter off that. Now, the right-on-right cutters, those are just setup pitches. You're not looking to get them to put those in play too often, but you're expecting a guy taking a lot of times when you throw an 0-0 or an 0-1 or a 1-0 cutter to a righty. Probably 1-0, more so than 0-1. Anyway, 3-0 count. Pours one in here, but ends up losing him here on 3-1. You know, close pitches, but loses them. And we're on back to Chourio in the top of the order. Now, if you recall, Chourio homered the first time on a fastball. Second at bat, he started him soft, and then went fastball for the kill. So let's see what they do the third time. Going to start him with a curveball here. Doesn't get the swing away. And he's going to come back with the sinker. Ooh, this is a very good pitch choice. And also a really good swing. So Chourio's locked in. Chourio's a problem for Yoshi or any pitcher that's facing him right now, because he started this at bat with a curveball away, getting his attention off the plate away a little bit. Although, interestingly here, Chourio does not, like, his hips are still gone. He's still anticipating being quick in. So even though they don't get the swing at this, I might have read this a little wrong in the moment. The sinker in was a little risky because he's clearly looking to spin on something on the inner half here after getting beat before on the fastball. Sure enough, he gets the sinker on the inner half, which I thought was a good choice. But now I'm seeing maybe he was walking into a little bit of danger here. Either way, he's very fortunate. Chourio hits it directly to Kike and left for the second out of the inning. 111 off the bat. That's the hardest hit ball of the night. And, you know, Chourio did nothing wrong there. I understand where Yoshi was going there, but at the end of the day, he was just kind of fortunate in that spot. All right, Bryce Terang to end the fifth. First pitch split, gets the chase. Lots of first pitch chase in this game. Very impressive adjustment made early by the Dodgers, being aware of the aggression of the Brewers. There's a takedown, so splitter. Gonna go for the fastball freeze down. Ends up getting it up. The velocity's there, so Terang tries to get there, can't quite get there. And we've seen already in this series that Terang will chase above the zone with fastballs. The first game ended on a Blake Trinan fastball above the zone, so they're going to use that to their advantage as well. 1-2 count. Here comes the curveball. Oop, and punches him out looking to end the inning. This was a beautiful little rainbow. This pitch, this is the advantage of having a hump on your curveball. Most of the time you don't want it, but when you have a snappy, tight, downward breaking ball like Yoshi, it can work for you if you know what you're doing. This ball pops and he thinks it's a ball out of the hand, and then it just rainbows back in. Because he's trying not to swing at a fastball at his eyes. He's already been doing that a little bit. We just talked about it. It's not something he wants to do again, so that's like in his mind. Don't swing at that, don't swing at that, don't swing at that. This pitch looks like it, and then it drops in the zone for strike 3, inning over. And for good measure, they throw the runner out, so they should have got 4 outs that inning. I think that should count. All right, 6th inning, William Contreras. First pitch out. He's going to need some of these to go CG, and he gets one here. I mentioned the first pitch cutter. It's not really a pitch you're expecting much on, but I do love it 0-0 because it's not a fastball. If they go to ambush a fastball, they're going to be a little ahead of it. They're probably going to pull it and chop it, and that's exactly what happened here. He locates it down and away. Contreras thinks he's swinging at a fastball, and he ends up pulling off it just a bit, swinging around it, and gets a 1-pitch out, which is huge if you want to go the whole freaking way. Christian Yelich, who he destroyed with 4 splitters last time. First pitch split for a strike. So if you're Yelly, that's the pitch you want to hit. This pitch is a split, just the pitch he's been getting a ton of, and this one pops a little higher. So he's logging it in his memory bank now, that if a pitch starts at this height, that's the one I need to swing at. All right, 0-1 count. Now he's coming with the fastball, and he's late. So this was beautiful tunneling by the Dodgers here. Again, this pitch is about that height that you need to fire on, thinking it's a split. He hasn't seen a fastball in an awfully long time, but it's 97 miles an hour. So even though he goes to fire, he's now super late. I mean, he's very, very late on this pitch. And it's an 0-2 count. And now if you're hitting here, you don't know what to look for. So 0-2 count. Here comes the curve. Almost gets him. Doesn't quite get him. Good take all around. Good pitching all around. Back to that high heater. This one, 98. Probably the first ball that Yoshi overthrows in this game. Yeah, just kind of pulls off it a little bit. Almost hits Yelich, but 97.6. I think that's the hardest pitch of the night so far. Just tried to go fastball there with a little bit extra. All right, back to the curveball. Beautiful pitch. Plays it off those 2 fastballs up. Gets it below the zone. Gets the swing. Yelich has got to be sped up a little bit on those heaters. And he's got nothing left to hit this curveball. Chops it in the ground. 2 outs in the 6th. All right, Sal Frelick. No. Andrew Vaughn. Coming back up. Going to start him with a curveball. Curveball down ball. Now they're going to go for that sinker in. Ground ball. Almost works. Gets him to 1-1. Now you switch to the 4 and you go higher. They're moving the ball around really well in this game. Ooh, this was a little bit of a dangerous pitch location-wise. But again, illustrating the difference in shapes between the 4-seam and the sinker. This 4-seam has 19.1 inches of vert, so he is way under it, and partially because he just saw a sinker. And that sinker had 10 inches of vert. So you're talking about an 8 or 9 inch difference there in terms of induced vertical break. So if you're getting prepared for a sinker shape and you go to hit that and get a little scoopier, you're going to be under the 4-seam, and that's what we see on pitch number 3 of this at-bat. Even though this is a good pitch to hit location-wise for Vaughn, his bat comes in much steeper at it, and he is under this ball, as you can see here. So they're sticking and moving. They're switching up their pitch types and the locations. And it's a really well done job here by Yoshi and Will Smith. There's the fastball up. I also love this pitch call. After you're under a fastball down, you should surely be under a fastball up. So he goes ahead and locates that fastball up. But you got to give credit to Vaughn for making a 1-pitch adjustment and getting a piece of this to get to see another pitch. So great baseball all around here. And we get to another 1-2. And we go back to the split. 93-mile-an-hour split here. Gets him out front, gets him off the end. Little lazy line drive to third at 76. He's been doing that quite a bit. They've been getting him out front. He's been hitting it to Muncy all night. No difference here. So Yoshi gave him the business there. He showed him Sinker. He showed him four-seam down. He showed him four-seam up. He showed him curveball away. Ends up getting him out with a split out front. So shows him the full arsenal there, and it was spectacular pitching. We are on to the 7th. Mr. Sal Frelick. First pitch fastball up away, ball. Second pitch fastball strike. At this point, he's now got a 3-run lead, so the calculus changes a little bit. I have to make them earn it. I have to pound strikes. I do think you'll see a little more daring them to swing early at this point than looking to avoid it. Really good curveball there. So fastball, fastball, curveball. Fast, fast, slowest. And now sinker, looking for the front door sinker. Just cooks it a little high, 2-2, and split off of all these fastballs. Gets the little choppy swing to Mookie. Another nice play by Mookie backing up very, very nicely, getting the good hop. His defense has gotten so good this year. Gets the big hop, stays in rhythm. You see the feet shuffling. Nice throw, knows his runner, and gets his man. All right, 1 out in the 7th. We are on to Durbin, who has punched twice on 3 pitches. So I would expect him to be aggressive here. Yep, takes the curveball. You can see the body language. He's already feeling defeated by this matchup versus Yoshi. Yep, 0-1. Sinker in off that. 0-2. So he says, you know what? Maybe he'll try to get me fishing here. I've been a little over-aggressive in this game. And instead, he gets a sinker just dotted in on him. Probably a pretty good pitch to hit. But now he's 0-2. And Yoshi's going for the 3rd strikeout of him. Goes split here. Only problem for Yosh is he throws it right down the middle. But outstanding defensive positioning by the Dodgers. Tommy Edmonds just camped up the middle. Durbin does his best. He's in defense mode. Kind of stabs at this ball. Pushes it up the middle, 98. But again, Edmonds right there. And there are 2 outs in the 7th. All right, Jake Bauers. Going to start him with the split. Bauers has been very aggressive in this game, so that makes sense. This time it's a ball, pushes it away. Now he's going to come back with the fastball. Just off the plate away ball. All right, got to get back in the zone. Dots one away. So the command is really tightened up big time after that first inning. And he can pretty much do whatever he wants out here. Here's another example. Beautiful backdoor top shelf curveball in a 2-1 count. You don't even really need to do this, but he does it anyway because that's how good the field is today. Perfect spot. And we are at 2-2. Splitter. Gets the swing off the plate. Gets the weak contact. And another 1-2-3 inning. So just showing an advanced feel for all of his pitches. Able to throw whatever he wants ahead in the count, behind in the count. He's reading the at-bats really well. And they are absolutely cruising. Out for the 8th. Curveball strike 1. Drops it in there to Mr. Collins. Now he's going to go 4-seam. Almost never has he doubled up in this game. There's been a few, but for the most part, he's sticking and moving. It's very hard to think with him. The arsenal features something for every swing type, for every level of aggression, and he's doing a great job of recognizing it. Him and Will Smith. Will Smith is inside these Brewers hitters' heads. That's what it feels like after watching him catch Snell and now Yoshi. Another good splitter, chopped foul, and he's going to go for the strikeout with the fastball here. Kind of an accidental paint, not what he meant to do. Trying to go up middle here with the heater, but holds on to the outside corner. Really good catch by Smith. And you can see Yoshi's reaction. A little bit of a head turn right here. He'll take it. We will take outs any way we can get him when we're on the mound. Never forget that. All right, 4th time through the lineup. Another showdown with Chourio. Here we go. First pitch split. Chourio aggressive and chops it over on 1 pitch. That's a very frustrating at-bat for Jackson. He feels like he's been on Yoshi the whole game. He feels like he's got nothing to get him out. He's hunting something middle in. He gets it, and he's out front on it and chops it right to 3rd for a 1-pitch out. So just because you know a guy is on to you and sitting on something doesn't mean you can't throw that same pitch, but you got to adjust it a little bit to get him to swing in a location he doesn't want to swing in or in a timing he doesn't want to be on, and you can get yourself a really quick out. It's a beautiful thing as a pitcher. Yoshi does it there. 2 outs in the 8th, and Bryce Terang is back up. Going to start him with a curveball. Beautiful. Drops it in there. Terang swinging because he's starting to realize he's not getting anything to hit in this game. And splitter off that curveball. Gets another rollover. Beautiful play by Edman. And there's been a ton of weak ground balls in this game. The infield has been busy. They have been very good on defense outside of the 1 error by Muncy. And he's getting a lot of awkward contact on the ground. All right, so Terang's out. We are through the 8th. And I didn't know if he was going to go back out for the ninth or not, but this time Dave sends him back out, and we will watch it. Ninth inning as he goes for the complete game. Not a shutout, but the complete game victory. First pitch split gets a generous call to Contreras. This is the first slider he's thrown of the game for a ball, so mixing it up even more this fourth time through the lineup. Cutter away. This one stays up better than the slider. Yep, 10.3 inches of vert. That slider had negative 1.8. So even though those pitches are very similar, cutter and slider, but this one stays up. And I think that's why he's way under it for the underneath the ball, popped up foul ball like that. Boom, 1-2 count. Here comes the fastball up. This one's too high, but it does set up a tunnel for a curveball. Goes to it, gets the swing, even though it's in an awful location. You know, the speed differential and the fact that you just cannot guess with Yoshi shows up here as Contreras chops it foul. Back to the fastball. This time they go in for the down and away paint. Gets the swing, misses a little bit up with it. Contreras late on it, and he gets himself to see a seventh pitch in this at-bat. And Yoshi will finish him with a slider. Again, hasn't thrown sliders all game. So gets away with one here, but it's easier to get away with a pitch in a bad location if it's something that they really haven't seen all game. They're not even looking for sliders. Not even really in the scouting report. He doesn't throw them often. This is a cement mixer slider down the middle, but he gets away with it. And that's why it's nice to hold back a pitch sometimes, you know, just for the element of surprise. Pop up there, one out in the ninth. Yelich again. Yelich just had a tough night. Curveball. Top shelf backdoor attempt. Very close, but off the plate. Going to try to double up on that. He got Yelich to ground out on a curveball last time. Another top shelf curveball. You know, a lot of people would say, oh, this is a hanging curveball, but this is a tough pitch to hit, man. It's at the very top of the zone. The lefty swing is not really designed to stay back enough to meet this pitch perfectly. If it's a little bit lower, sure, yeah. But even though this is at the very top of the zone, it's an effective 1-0 pitch, and he gets to 1-1, and he goes back to the splitter. So Yelich, for the most part, after that first at-bat, saw curveballs and splits the rest of the way, and didn't do really anything against Yoshi. He does nothing against the split. Hits it in the ground at 69.5 miles an hour. This is a beautiful location, down and away. You know, well, medium height and away. The last pitch had been in. A lot of good things working for him to date, and Yelich had a really tough night. Last at-bat of the game is Andrew Vaughn. He's going to get his last strikeout, his seventh strikeout of the game versus Vaughn here, as he puts the finishing touches on an absolute masterpiece. A complete game in the postseason, bringing his team to a 2-0 series lead on the road. They will now go home and look to extend their lead, where they have more good starting pitchers waiting to face the Brewers. But between Snell and Yamamoto, two of the better starting pitching performances we have seen this postseason, if not two of the top five or so. I think Snell might be the best one. And this one's certainly up there too. Anytime that your bullpen doesn't have to pitch in a postseason game, that is an extra credit, because those guys are going to be needed so much more as the games progress. Splitter down below. This was a great pitch, finishing pitch. Still holding his velocity extremely well at this point in the game as well. That should be noted. 92.7 on that. And he's going to finish the game on yet another split. This one diving in. Ball game over. Has a little bit of a different action to it. Vaughn's tied up, and he does the damn thing and completes the shutout. I did want to take a quick look at Yoshi's mechanics. We're going to have to go way back in time to a fastball, just so I can show you a little bit of the fastball and the way that he throws. It is a little bit unique. Now, when he came over from Japan, a lot of people became obsessed with this rhythm and this flow that he pitches with. Now, right now, he's going with a little bit more of a leg kick. You see the knee's actually getting up to a height. At times, he has had no leg kick, but it's the same flow. He wants to go forward in a linear motion and just continuously stay in that. And look at how he is falling down here. And then he gets into this really powerful position here. And then he uncoils. He's a freak athlete. He throws extremely hard, considering his size. But he's got tremendous mobility. He can get into deep positions. And he can uncoil. He can coil, uncoil. And he can, load and unload at a very, very fast rate. I mean, that's easy cheese right here. And this was a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. The hips stay perfectly flat, allowing him to rotate very efficiently. And that's a little bit about Yoshi's delivery. You can think Luke Weaver a little bit is another example of a guy who tried to copy it. He also features a very strong lead leg block. This move right here on the finish, which sends extra energy up the chain and translate that into velocity. So Yoshi, a guy that a lot of people study. He's got some interesting training techniques. And I think he's an awesome case study for younger pitchers who want to be elite, because he is anything. He is absolutely elite. No question about it. One of the best pitchers in the game. Full stop. All right, so let's go back to his player breakdown here one more time. Velocity was up big time in this game, almost 1 mile an hour on everything. The four seam averaged 96.3. That's almost a full mile an hour up from the regular season. The cutter, which I mentioned, the velocity in the cutter is very key when looking at Yoshi. The cutter was up to 92.7, which is great for a cutter. You want it as fast as you can get it, but really it was up across the board. So feeling fresh this time of year is a beautiful thing to see. Dave lets him go. How many pitches did he let him go? 111 pitches. Lot to like with the way that this game was managed and the way that he pitched. Now, he doesn't have a crazy whiff game. He got 8 whiffs on 20 swings on split, so that was the number one whiff pitch, and really getting the split to work again sets the ceiling even higher for Yoshi. He's been on this burner without the split, so now that he has the split, watch out world. But it wasn't really because of him that he didn't get as many whiffs or strikeouts. He generated 40% out of the zone swing, so he got more than enough chase. They just put the ball in play. That's what the Brewers do. They're scrappy. They know how to put the ball in play. But at the end of the day, if you're putting balls in play, they're probably pretty weak, and you're going to get a lot of quick outs, which is what Yoshi did. Only 88.8 miles an hour on the average exit velocity today. So that's a little bit about how he did it. Let's watch his pitch 3D really quick, and then we'll be done with this breakdown. Here is just the four seamers. You can see he starts on the right side of the rubber, so when he throws them pin straight, they're kind of in on righties, away from lefties. That's his initial lane. And then he likes to upshoot them quite a bit. And when he throws them down low, they're mostly to set the trap for this pitch, the splitter, which you can see here. A lot of pitches that when they start in the middle, they get to the bottom. That's the trick and why he throws low fastballs, to set the trap for the split. He did push some splits off the plate away, but he got a lot of swings at them too, and they are pretty close to the plate. So I'm just quibbling there. But overall, really good job by Yoshi. All right, let's see the sinkers. Let me get rid of the splits. These are the sinkers. So this is what he started going to later in the game. He had been doing a ton of this in his previous outings, but toggling the two fastball types, very effective here. And then we'll layer in his cutters, which is the other fastball type that he features. So again, all these pitches come out of the same tunnel. One holds, one sinks and runs in, and one kind of holds a little bit and goes up to the left in the cutter. Really, really hard thing to adjust to. And just when you think you've adjusted to all those pitches at the fast speed, he still has the curveball. And the curveball obviously designed to slow you down. And he used it a ton today for first pitch strikes, and also to get below the zone where you can see on all these blue dots. All right, so that's basically it for the day. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, 9 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 7 strikeouts. Dodgers up 2-0 in the series. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, don't be afraid to subscribe, like it, tell your friends, post it on Reddit, do whatever you need to do. But it's been a lot of fun breaking down these Dodgers pitchers. They have a huge advantage on the rest of the league with these guys. And this guy is top tier, Yoshinobu Yamamoto. He's been everything that you paid for and more. And congrats to those guys, as we'll see what happens the remainder of the series. But this was the second watching in 2 days on Dodgers starters. We got Snell yesterday, we got Yamamoto today, and it's been really fun for me. So thanks so much for watching this video, and I'll see you guys later. All right, bye.